Mewing beginners aren't really willing to put in the work, and so they make 1 of 10 mewing mistakes that I see over and over again, which can lead to crooked teeth, an asymmetrical face, or a double chin, which those are pretty bad. Mewing mistake number 10 can actually ruin your entire life. One of the most beautiful men in the world actually has made this mistake. We'll get to that later. Mewing mistakes. Isn't that a good thing? Mistakes are part of learning, living, and loving life. Well, are plastic surgery mistakes okay? Are construction mistakes okay? Is it okay to make a mistake while you're driving a speedboat like a maniac full of people? Well, maybe if you get a hella funny video out of it. Mewing mistake number 1 is only putting the tip of your tongue against your palate. Everyone does this. Everyone does this in the beginning. So if you're doing it, it's okay, but you gotta realize that it's wrong, but it is how we all start. As you probably know, you're supposed to have your whole tongue up against the palate. The most important part is the back part. You've heard me say it a million times, but you've got to do it. And that is the biggest mistake. If you push too hard with just the tip, especially if you're touching your front teeth, you're going to spread them apart, or you're going to bring them forward more like buck teeth type thing. If you're mewing correctly, that pressure is evenly applied against the palate and leads it to expand. Mewing mistake number 2 is thinking that mewing is an exercise. It's not. It's not an exercise you just do a couple of reps every day and then you build a bigger muscle, you build a better jawline. Mewing is just like good back posture. You want to learn how to do it and do it for the rest of your life. I get too many questions of people asking me, can I just mew for 10 minutes a day and then stop? Will I get results that way? You might, but that is not how you do it. All the benefits come the longer you do it. And mewing, yeah, it makes you look better and it can change your whole facial structure, but the main benefits actually are better sleep, better breathing, more oxygen intake. There's a whole bunch of benefits from the nose breathing that compound over time, and they're actually the real benefits of mewing. And so no, once you get an amazing mewing transformation, you don't want to just stop and be happy with your results. You want to continue, otherwise your face will transform back. And just so you know, once you can actually learn how to mew properly, it's easy. It's not a struggle. You're not having to breathe all awkward.
Mewing is not an exercise. It's posture. It's a way of life.
Not learning how to nose breathe first. Now mewing, the first step is to lightly close your mouth. So how are you gonna close your mouth if you can't breathe through your nose? It's sort of like the pre-step to mewing. You need to be able to breathe through your nose so that you can start mewing. I think quite a lot of mewing mistakes are actually made because people can't breathe through their nose and then they start trying to mew. This isn't the worst mistake in itself, but if you can't breathe through your nose and then you try and mew, that can lead you to make some of the other mewing mistakes, which can distort your face a little bit too much. Mewing mistake number 4, that is swallowing and then holding that position and thinking that that is the correct mewing position. If you've done that, then you know that you can't breathe doing that, because when you swallow, there's a suction where your epiglottis actually closes your airway. I believe it's called epiglottis. You can't breathe when you do that. Mewing is supposed to be the healthy, correct tongue posture and nose breathing. And if you can't breathe, that's not exactly healthy. So many people make this mistake. I don't know who made a video on this or where this idea comes from, but it's wrong. It's Spelling mistakes are harmless, well, most of the time, but mewing mistakes are not okay. Mewing mistake number 6, touching your front teeth with your tongue. Remember, your tongue should be behind your front teeth. It should not be touching them. It shouldn't be pushing up against them. That will move them if you do that long enough. You're touching your teeth, you're running the risk that you're going to move them, spread them further apart, and create other issues. Mewing mistake number 7. This is having your mouth too far open when you're trying to mew. I made this mistake too because it's quite hard to have your teeth together and have your tongue in the right position. It's very stressful for your jaw. Maybe you can start by having your teeth a little bit further apart, get your tongue in the right position, and over time try and get them closer together. But you have to recognize that's not 100% correct. I don't necessarily think this one can lead to any big mistakes where you can change your face and mess your face up, but you're probably not going to see the results that you're after. Don't try to mew while you're eating, sleeping, or talking. Just forget about those things because they're just gonna make your life hard. If you're mewing correctly over a long period of time, you're just gonna do it naturally when you're sleeping. You shouldn't be mewing when you're eating necessarily. You should use the mewing swallow, but you shouldn't have your tongue up against your palate. And when you're talking, you just want to relax and enjoy your life, And this mistake by itself isn't the worst, but what actually happens is because it's so uncomfortable, people quit mewing. Remember, the goal is to mew in the long term. It's all all about sticking to it. That's the most important part. Making mewing a habit rather than doing it constantly for like 3 weeks in a row. Give yourself a break when it's becoming awkward. Recognize that it's going to take some time. Recognize that it's going to be uncomfortable for a few weeks. Okay? Pinching your cheeks between your teeth. People do this because they want that hollow cheek duck face look. Fair enough. That's not the way to do it, by sucking in your cheeks and pinching them between your teeth. In the short run, if you want to look like that, that might be good, but it's very uncomfortable. It's not practical. And in the longer term, it's gonna ruin your tongue posture. Don't do that. I wouldn't sacrifice the short term for the long term. It doesn't necessarily look good anyway when you do that. And I think people know you're doing it and they cringe. Hey, but do what you like. Then there's mewing mistake number 10, thinking that mewing will fix all your problems. Now I know you're not stupid enough to think that mewing will fix all your problems, but you might think that mewing is gonna transform your face and make you this beautiful supermodel type person. And it might. You shouldn't be relying on that. You should just hope for a marginal improvement into your face. Now mewing and becoming more attractive, it's a good goal. Go for it, definitely. But just realize that it doesn't matter. You think your appearance is more important than it is, so just don't spend too much time working on it. Like, spend your time getting smarter, getting happier, doing more things, making more friends, and spend your life being grateful for what you've been given. I know I've been lucky, but look at Zac Efron, for example. Mega famous and heavenly handsome, very charismatic and charming guy, but he's been struggling with his appearance for years. Apparently he's, been depressed over it and whatnot. And look at him, and that led him to ruin his face with plastic surgery. He's halfway towards the Bogdanov meme. So that's the example I want to bring up. Someone like that isn't even happy with their appearance. Mewing, it's just one tool in your toolbox, one arrow in your quiver, one orange in your fruit bowl. Learn to mew, start doing it, don't make the mistakes, and just be happy with whatever health benefits you get. Now, all these 10 mewing mistakes basically come back to not having the correct tongue posture. It's the most important part, and I made a detailed, helpful, and entertaining video on that you will love. So click on that, watch it, leave your questions in the comments. I'm always there to answer them. Thank you for watching. You're my new best friend. And what do best friends do? They support each other. Make sure you subscribe because I care about you and I want to help you on your mewing journey. Alright, I'll see you soon. Have a good one. Bye.